Welcome back. In this video, we're going to finally see something and actually make the app pretty much ready to go. So therefore, let's get started and look at our application. So we have our conversion factor and I changed that to 1 because instead of using 001, I'm going to use meters here as well as a default. Okay, for the input unit, and the output unit should also be meters. And then I need another conversion factor because we need one for the input and one for the output in order to do the calculations correctly, because I had that missing in my ideas. So I'm going to call this one O conversion factor, and this will just be our output conversion factor. So the right hand side, now you could call this one the input conversion factor, but basically we now need to expand our converter units calculation because we need to calculate divided by conversion factor dot or O conversion factor dot value, and it didn't give me the dot value like so, because basically what we do is we take the input value, so whatever the user has entered, and then we take the conversion factor from the left hand side to multiply it with 100 and with the conversion factor of the right hand side, round it to an integer, and then we divide that. All right. So now that we have that, we can go over to our drop down menu at the bottom, and I'm going to use this code that I have from the drop down menu for millimeters, which was the last option, and I'm going to put that down here as well, where it's not going to make our I expanded false but our O expanded, and it will not be our input unit but it will be our output unit. That should be centimeters. Now the conversion factor for centimeters is going to be 0.01 because our default value, as I said, our middle ground, so to speak, is 1 meter, and 1 centimeter is 1/100th of a meter. That's what this centi means. So centi is like 100, centimeter is like 100th meter. Okay, and then we're going to update or call our convert units to also update whenever we change the right hand drop down menu. Now let's do the same thing again for our meters. And here the conversion value will be 1.00. Then we need to do the same thing for our feet. So here feet, and here the conversion value will be 0.3048, I believe it was. And then finally for our millimeters, so it should be millimeters, and here we need to add another 0. So now we should almost be ready. Actually, it's good enough so that we can test it. So let's test it on our emulator here. So let me add 10 because that's an easy one. And then let's select feet, and we can see 10. We don't know what we selected. So 10 feet are 3.05 meters. So that's something we can change still. So 10 meters are 10 meters, 10 meters are 0.1 centimeters. So there's something wrong still, because we need to check it out. Let's see, because our input value for our button is not selected yet. So instead of saying select on both of our buttons here, what we want to say is going to be this variable that we have here, which would be the input unit for our left button. So I'm going to select input unit here, input unit for the left button. So for our input button. And then if we scroll down for our output button, I'm going to select output unit. Okay, let's just see how this is gonna do. Even though that's not all yet, it should be a little easier to understand what we have selected. So 0 meters are 0 meters. Let's say 100 again. So 100 meters in meters are 100 meters. 100 meters in feet are 30.48 feet. that's not correct. So let's look at our calculation still. I have a little problem in our calculation yet. And then there's one more thing that I would like to update, okay? And that would be the convert units method should be called whenever we change the value of our outlined text field. So this here. So basically what we want to do is we want to update this thing down here straight away once we make a change here. So for example, if I change that to 1,000, I want the result to automatically update. And we can do that by calling the convert units function, because this convert unit function is automatically taking care of getting our values ready. So it updates our output value straight away by calculating it. So let's see if that feature works. Let's quickly test that. So we should see 0 meters are 0 meters. Okay, let's add 1. We see 1 meter is 1 meter. Now let's select centimeters. So I have definitely a calculation wrong there. So let me see. So it is meters in both cases, input and output. The mutable value is 1. Okay, let's just test what happens if I add a 0 here. And you see it changes down there automatically as well. So that's good. So it has to have, well, it has to be something either with our calculation or with our values that we assign. So we have the value of 0.001 for centimeters, 1 for meters, 0.3 for 8, or 0.3048 for feet, millimeters 1,000th, then centimeters again, correct. There we are. It's not the O conversion factor that I updated. There we are. So sometimes it's really copy and paste that breaks your neck. So yeah, I copied and pasted our conversion factor, but here we need to use the output conversion factor, which is why we never have really gotten any proper results. So sometimes you can fix those bugs by just looking at your code, but sometimes you need to debug. Either way, now we should be good to go. Let's enter a value of 10. So 10 meters are 10 meters. That's great to see. 10 meters are 32.841 feet. That sounds great. Then let's look at millimeters. So we see it's 10 meters are 10,000 millimeters. Perfect. That's exactly correct. 10 meters are 1,000 centimeters. That's correct as well. And now let's see if centimeters into feet. So 10 centimeters are 0.33433 feet. That sounds legit as well. 10 centimeters are 100 millimeters. That's cool. So now you see whenever we make a change to our user interface, the entire data is updating. So whenever we enter the value, our result is updating. Whenever we enter, change the input type, we also get an update. So we have a working application. Now there are a few minor things that I would like to still change in this app, and that's something we're going to do in the next video. And then we are pretty much done for our unit converter app. So see you in the next video.